Hello, everybody. I have some very, very interesting news. Very interesting news. Very, very, very interesting news. So about the kitty. It's not a girl. It's also not a boy. We did a bit of a blood test to find out its gender, and we got a text message about what they are. And they are a American medium hair, they're mostly long-haired flame point Himalayan. And it said, "Oh, your cat's a girl." And I thought, okay, you're Amelia then. And then this morning we got a text message saying, actually, we're getting conflicting results on the chemical tests. That might be a male cat. And we're like, what? And we're like, this sometimes happens. Some of our devices are a little bit funky. Or the cat could be a hermaphrodite. Which is interesting. So we'll have to find out when they get back to us on that. Interesting, I'm sure you will agree. Gabriel might not be a boy or a girl. It's so strange, I know. Oh, give me a second. They can't do that! Probably. Where is it? Yeah. Gabriel might not be a boy or a girl. We'll have to find out. Their chemical tests are not conclusive right now. Which I find interesting. I didn't know they couldn't be conclusive. But then again, cats are biologically very strange and very topsy-turvy. So whatever. I'ma just stretch right now. Yeah, everything. We asked them about it. They said everything will be okay if that is the case. But they're just a bit strange. That means they do have... The way they explained it was... If a cat comes out of as a hermaphrodite, it's usually something that happened during birth, like a birth disorder, and apparently it's the same way in humans, where they will have a vagina, but inside of the vagina is a pair of undescended testes. Same thing happens with humans sometimes. Humans go through the exact same thing sometimes. So that's what it's like in cats as well. Very strange that that can happen. But it's either that or their machine is broken. We'll have to find out in like 2 weeks. We'll have to find out in 2 weeks. Very interesting. Science is weird. I'm feeling real sluggish today. I don't think I'd be interested in a devil fruit. Not at all, actually. I don't like them. Do not like them. What else does this need? Can I switch? Hold on. Huh? I can draw it. Very, very strange. That's a good question. A martial artist sounds cool. Although I'd have to think about it a bit more. I rarely give One Piece a thinking because, well, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Not the biggest fan. I'd have to think about it. Maybe Fishman Karate would be cool. Okay, yeah, then I gotta... If I wanted to cover up a big area like that, I can. I think some Fishman Karate with a bit of a play with a quarterstaff might be fun. Something like that. You know what I mean, Draco? I'm sure you understand. Hold on, I'm just getting the Fog of War correct on the map. There we go. Thing about One Piece is it's kind of like DBZ for me. I like it when a story has like a good end point and doesn't go on for too long. Not to say that I'm a fan of short stories, more that I'm a fan of stories that have an end. I'm more of a fan of something that isn't a franchise. franchises, I find that usually if something is part of a franchise, it becomes a hell of a lot harder for it to tell a good story. And I think that is part of the problem with modern media. That a lot of it is focused on making money. You know what I mean? A lot of it's focused on making money. And because of that, it's hard to enjoy a medium. I mean, like, Star Wars is a good example. Star Wars got fucking absolutely destroyed by a lot of, like, political movements as well. But Star Wars is a good example of something that's just completely destroyed by the pursuit of the bag. What do you think, Draco? YouTube is another good example. Another really good example of something beautiful lost to the need to monetize and create money. There we go. Yeah, to completely setting the Star Wars world somewhere completely different and like setting it somewhere in a completely different fucking galaxy or some shit might be the thing they need to do. But there's issues with that. There are issues with that, like everything. Okay. Camp is fully concealed, so the players can see just about all this. Just about all this. Maybe we give them like a little crack. Little crack, you know? Retelling the story of Star Wars, but in a different galaxy or a different solar system. Would be pretty good. We'll put that crack there so the players have their like attention is basically drawn to it. There we go. Alright, now let us reduce this to 0. Does that work? Yep. Is it a kind of low? Alright. Old Republic era content could also be pretty good. Or hell, just like give us like a completely different galaxy. And show us how the Force is manipulated in different ways around the universe. That would be really, really cool. Don't drag old characters back into this shit. Anyways. We are going to complete this map today. Yesterday I spent some time with Gabriel. He was having a bit of trouble. He was a little constipated and he wasn't feeling too good afterwards. So me and him stayed in bed all day and just watched a bunch of mystery movies while he slept on my arm. That's pretty much all that me and him did. He was not feeling too good. Frost giants. Let's take some inspiration from something else someone else did. Well, this person made like a big, like, island ring. Big mead hall. A long house. Maybe we should do something like that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to complete this, right? We're going to complete this. And then we are going to complete some other stuff. I'm actually going to make the main Frost Giant base on here as well. And I want your guys' help with that, because I think that would be cool. Giant skull. There's something close to what we did, but a bit more proper. They got this. They live in, like, ice caves. Maybe we could make the main hall look like that, eh? Maybe we can make the main hall look like that. Huh. Either way, we should probably add one more giant on the surface here. To round it out to 4. What could that giant be doing? We need one more giant, Draco. What should it be doing? Where should the giant be? What is his job here? We have a guard and a lookout, a bone carver. Do we have a guy that's just maybe a butcher? No, maybe not a butcher. A returning scout? Maybe. Maybe like a guy who's a bit faster than the others. Let's look at this giant stat block. The news. When I go over to this side of the screen and scroll down a little bit, it Rush Giants. These are the boys we're dealing with. Oh. Huh. Second edition ones look really cool. A returning scout. What if they have a big cart outside? What if, like, right here they have a big cart outside, and it's not like a returning scout, because the scout's going to be injured from the whole dragon thing. It's a scout that just brought back some supplies from, like, their main base, and I can give the players, like, a trail to follow to the main base if they want to, because they're giants. They don't care, right? They don't care about hiding this shit. They're just gonna kill them. They're just gonna kill him. Look at this guy. You think he cares about that shit? No, he don't care about that shit. He don't care about that shit. Look at this guy. He does 3d12 plus 6. He don't care. Oh, you know what, Draco? Okay, so Draco, the giants in this world are trying to, like, come together and meet forces. That's like the overarching side quest that has to do with the giants here. There's plenty of side quests in this. You can, like, fight fish monsters or, like, were people. But the giants, which are where the players are going to be, they're actually going to be, like, trying to get every giant together to, like, create an army to rise up the Moksha and, like, take their wish for themselves, essentially, and, like, dominate humans. So you know what we could have? Something like that. We could have... You know what we could do, Draco? We could have a different type of giant in their midst. We could have a different type of giant in there. That could be cool. That could be really cool. We could do something like that. What type of giant should be in there? See, I call these guys frost giants because I'm just using the frost giant stat block. A stone giant. So the stone giant equivalent in this are, like, darker skinned giants that use unarmed attacks. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Stone giant. So I didn't copy like D&D 1-to-1. This guy right here looks good. They have a lot of, like, really cool art. I didn't, like, copy D&D 1-to-1. Actually, maybe Roll20 already has something better. So there's 6 types of giants, right? You have the... There's actually kind of what they're made out of, right? Because they're made out of, like, elements. You have the flesh giants, which are giants that are, like, large and fleshy. You have the rock giants, the frost giants, the stone giants, which, you know, pretty cool. The steel giants, which are made out of, like, minerals from the earth. So, it's pretty cool. And they can technically interbreed in a way. They don't have, like, genitals or anything, but what they do have is... if two rituals are performed, like creation rituals of these things are performed in the same area, it'll actually get, like, a half-breed of these two creatures, right? So we can do something like that. Fighter... Monk right here. This guy, he's the scout. Alright, he looks a bit different. Because he's faster. He's a bit bigger and he can move a bit faster. So stone giants are pretty damn strong, aren't they? Yeah, they actually have a higher AC. They're comparable to, like, frost giants. You know what we're going to do instead of this, though, Draco? Instead of this right here? Here's what I'm thinking, right? Stone giant, but he doesn't use a club or, like, a quarterstaff. He uses his fists, because that's what these stone giants normally do. They're martial artists, right? So he has 2 attacks that they do 3d6 plus 6 each. But he has an extra bonus action attack he can do as a martial artist. Yeah. What do you think? I really like the idea of that. Just like big punching gauntlets. So this guy has... This guy is one of the injured ones, right? We'll take away some of his HP. And he has no weapon. He is weaponless. He is completely weaponless. So, what other modifications do we want to do here? Maybe... Stone camouflage. I mean, I think it's cool that he can attack 3 times. Kind of crazy, you know? Well, do we want to add anything else? A 30-foot attack range with his melee attacks. So this guy, if he had to attack in front of him right now... If he had to attack in front of him right now, he would be swinging... That's his melee range right there. Actually be 10, so 20. That would be his melee range right there. This guy would have a melee range like fucking this. Just a big cone. Let's draw like the pathway and everything. All right, Draco. So, how was, other than everything that happened, how was your day? Have you spent any time with your kitty cat? I hope they are doing very well. We're gonna use this. Oop. Doop, doop, doop. There we go. Maybe shrink it down a little bit. There we go. All right. Caveman clothes. Maybe he's wearing some kind of caveman clothes. I went to see my grandparents today. I see. I tell ya, my grandparents have been a bit strange lately. So, Draco... my grandfather bought a fucking four-seater tri-bicycle after he just did that a couple months ago. I have no idea why. I have no idea why. Okay, what if there's like a little tent down here for this guy? You know, he's maybe he's actually standing like right here. He's like separated from the rest of them, so maybe there's like a little tent for him. We can even give it like a unique look compared to the others. Maybe we make it look a bit more rough. Bit more rough, you know? Like that. Increase the size a little. Right there. Then on the map layer. This is his little tent that he sleeps in, you know? Little cozy little tent right next to the forge. Okay, here's what I'm imagining, right? So he's a stone giant. He's not really used to like the freezing cold entirely. So the reason he's so close to the forge is because he likes the heat from it and he likes to stay warm. Because, you know, he's not like a frost giant who has an immunity to cold damage. Whoa. Well, let's really zoom in on this guy, you know? Look at him. Let's get a real good look at him, yeah. Yeah. It looks like this. Kids, don't do drugs or you'll look like this. Or this. Yeah, so he's separated from everybody else. Maybe we'll have like a little sleeping bag. He like sleeps out here next to the forge because it's warmer. It's much, much warmer. Do we have a sleeping bag? Do we add a grand piano? You know what we probably do have, though? He's got, like, some hay bales he stole in here. He's got, like, a hay bale pillow. Because, you know, making pillows for these guys would be fucking difficult as hell. So he's got, like, a hay bale pillow. And do we have a sleeping bag? We have a coffin. We have a bed. We have a carpet. Imagine making a sleeping bag for a giant. That would take forever. What does this guy have with him? Okay, fine. Fine. What does this guy have with him? What does he got on him? Like, what are his belongings? Ooh, cold titties. What are his belongings, Draco? What does he got on him? It's a good question. Like, a walking stick? Yeah. Maybe he's got like a little chest. Maybe he's got like a little chest he has on him. Oh, you know what could be cool? We give him a quarterstaff so he does the 3d8 plus 6. And then as a bonus action, he kicks you. Bam! Right in the face with 3d6 plus 6. Let's give him like a little crate. I usually put their inventories on a piece of paper. He's got like, you know, a little crate in one corner, like right over here. He keeps everything in, you know? He keeps everything in that little crate right there. Yeah, probably like some rocks carved into dice, because the stone giants in this, the giants made out of stone, the material giants as they're called, the stone giants, they live like, basically, they live in almost like flat, rocky terrain. They live above ground, they don't live on caves. So sometimes they do, obviously, but they don't live completely in caves. A water skin? Let me write that down. Actually, do we have something like that? No. No, we do not. You know what we could do, though? Do that. That right there. Good way to turn it off. It's too black around the edges. I don't like it. I think it actually looks better if it's just like a brown square. I think it looks better if it's just like a brown square. Your mind is able to do a lot more. A map to his home? Yeah, I feel like that would be pretty good to like foreshadow it. To, like, foreshadow that there's more of them. Let me write that down. Actually, what if the map is open? We have, like, a map, right? We have a map here somewhere, right? No, it doesn't look like it. What if the map is like... Oh, you know what we could do? You know what we could do? You know what we could do? Oh, I've never seen this stuff down here before. Nah, once again, the shadow kind of ruins it. Yeah, the shadow kind of ruins it. Okay. Tree. Isn't there, like, pre-made custom maps? Maps right here. We can have, like, a little road map down here. Oh, shit! It's too big! Gotta shrink it way down. Whoop. A little map. It's kind of like open next to the chest, you know? Yeah! Okay, let's draw the cart prints now. Like the prints on the cart. There we go. And delete this one. That leads up there. So that way is the thingy, and he just brought supplies in. I'm fucking liking this, Draco. I'm really liking this. I'm really fucking liking this. After we make this, we're going to make the abominable Yeti cave that the players are going to be spawning in when they come into this world. Because they're getting kind of isekai'd, kind of not really. Hmm. 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 Does this lair need anything else? What else does this need, Draco? Hmm. 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 Ah. Mm. Sorry, had to eat a little bit of candy. I don't know, because I already have the significance of the cave kind of already planned out. So Draco, let me explain. The players are willingly going into an alternate dimension, right? I was actually thinking about doing something else. Giant wolves. Maybe the Yetis have tamed some giant wolves. But Or maybe these guys have. Maybe we could do that at their main base. That would be cool. But, okay. So, like, here's what's up. The players are willingly going into a different dimension where there are 20 different places they can appear in, right? These places are absolutely consistent, and some of the humans that have also gone into this alternative dimension have, you know, memorized where these new people show up and are basically spawn camping them. People are killing them and taking their stuff, and like a lot of societies will be built around where new people come from, because it's, you know, new people in this alternate dimension. So what has happened is people don't know where all 20 of these locations are. They don't even know there are 20 of them. And the players rolled the one that is an unknown one because everyone who appears there, keep in mind, basically normal people come in there. Everyone who appears there is eaten by the Yetis that live in there. There's a mating pair that lives in the cave, and they just eat everybody who appears in the cave. And they've grown really, really strong because of it. You know what I mean? I was actually thinking about doing something with that dragon's cave. I was thinking about having a giant centipede start living in it. Like if the because they come here and they see that they've killed these dragons, right? They come here and they see they killed these white dragons. So obviously they'd be like, okay, let's go find the dragon's treasury then. Let's go find the dragon's treasure. They go find the dragon's treasure. There's a giant centipede that's taken over its lair. One of those frost centipedes, whatever they're called. Let me check. What do you think, Draco? What was like frost centipede creatures called again? I always forget their names. Starts with a Y, I think. What are they called? I think they're in the back of the monster manual, right? Let's read about Yetis. So Yetis are... Oh, Yetis are strange. They're great howlers, they're keen hunters. What are these creatures I am thinking of? What are they, Draco? They're the weird blue centipede monsters. A salamander? No. Yes! One of those things! I was thinking about making one of these things, like, take over the dragon's lair. You know what I mean? Why throw brick? Ooh. One of these bad boys. 60, 10 plus 7. Plus an additional 3d6. Yeah, it's one of these things that took over an ice dragon's lair. Your stream was delayed. Are you still getting a delay? By how much? Look at this guy. We'll do that. Oh, it was you. Okay. We'll do that later. We'll do that later. Right now. So that's 4 of the giants, 4 of the 10. The next 6 are inside. Do we want to do anything else on this map, or do you think this is good? Do you think this is good? It'd be cooler to have. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll be right back. Sorry, I am back. What is this, Draco? What link have you brought me here? Well, these things could also be pretty cool. I've seen these too. CR11, CR11. You want to do one of these things? Huge, huge. They're very similar. One has an auto grapple and does slightly less damage. It's actually restrained. Which one do you want to do, Draco? Do you want to do the Bière? This thing doesn't like hunker down anywhere. 3d10. Makes 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its constrict. Lightning breath. Swallow. Also swallowed and Reamer has here is really cool. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Just the idea of like the cave slowly melting away thanks to its just naturally hot aura. You know? And the cave has like multiple new holes in it that it can climb through. That sounds cool. We can do that. But right now, I think that is good here. Hey Draco, a little bit of a test to see how far you are behind. When I say this, type this. This. Because Twitch is telling me my bitrate is pretty high. You're about 6 seconds behind. You're about 6 or so seconds behind. I think of the end.
Behir.
Behir.
Remoraz.
Remoraz. That helps a lot. It's a fucking Remoraz! These two creatures are very similar. Enough to complain, yeah. Remoraz. Behir. Oh, do they? In that case, we can do this one. Behir. Alright, now. I think we're good here. You know... 90-10. That'd be about 90-10 or so. I've got a bit of an idea. Give me one little second real quick. Anyways, so yeah, sorry about that. My mother came in and asked me a question. What if we have a giant ballista, Draco? Look at it like this, right? These giants, they're preparing to meet together and like go to war, essentially, right? They're getting ready to meet together to climb the levels of like the tower that they are in. So obviously some of them would be preparing for something like that. And these are the first giants that have like industry with carving and everything. So what if we go for a thing where, you know, they have just killed this dragon, they have just taken its bones and been able to craft it. So they have crafted a ballista. Like a full-on, just giant ballista from it. The ballista would be doing some serious damage by the oversizing weapon rules. It would be doing 90-10, which is a good bit. So I was thinking, Draco, they kill this dragon, right? They kill this dragon, and they're making weapons out of it. What if they have a giant ballista? What if they have a huge ballista that they made out of the dragon bones that they're preparing to use to destroy the human village that they're at war with? What if they do that? That would be cool. It would kind of be a lethal implement. So a ballista's damage in 3rd edition and 5th edition is 3d10, which means it would be doing 9d10 in one of their hands. It's a mounted weapon, obviously, and it does have the ready aim fire rules where, you know, a huge dragon bone ballista. Before it can be fired, it must be loaded, aimed as one action to load, one action to aim, and one action to fire. So they literally have to go ready, aim, fire. Ready, aim, fire. You know, if the players get in here and they start causing havoc, maybe this guy, if he's not dead, and the dual wielder, maybe they go here? Maybe they come here? And maybe their first 2 turns, they load and aim it, and then on the bowman's 3rd turn, he fires it if the players aren't fast enough to interrupt them. You know what I mean? Ready, aim, fire. That could be cool. Well, how it works is... So... How this works... is it takes an action, a full action to reload it. So siege weapons, how they work, is before it can be fired, it must be loaded and aimed. It takes 1 action to load, 1 action to aim, and 1 action to fire. If there are 3 people on it simultaneously, you can do all 3 in the same turn. That could be cool. And what we can do is, because it's a lot of damage, right? We don't want to give them the ability to do this every turn. They'll have to run over here and grab more of like the ice javelins to use as ammo for it. That would be pretty cool. We could also make it look like it was recently crafted, like that the craftsman is like literally making this as the players come in. Also, 3d10, so 9d10, average of 41. That's pretty lethal. That's pretty lethal. That's pretty lethal. What do you think, Draco? Yeah. A Tomb King Ballista. I wanted to do something like that. Because, like, imagine it, right? We have it right here. The players start causing a muck in here. And this guy comes down if he's not been shot to death yet from his perch. He comes down. This guy comes up here, and then they use it. That would be nice. Sorry, I was just given a bunch of formula for the kitten. Alright. We're gonna put that. That'll be the last thing in here before we move to the lower level. Yes. How do you do, Edwin? I'm assuming you're a frequent D&D player. What can we use for a ballista in here? We might have to just draw it. That would look weird. We'll have to probably get the image of a ballista. Like this. Just type whatever. Yeah, this dungeon is coming along very nicely. This dungeon is coming along very, very, very nicely. Won't be that big. It'll actually probably be about that big. You know, the craftsman, he just finished making it out of the dragon bones. He just finished making this out of the dragon bones. 90-10 damage is pretty fucking crazy. Keep in mind, the players are going to come in here like level 7 or so. They're going to come in here level 7. So, 90-10, pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. Alrighty then. Anything else we want to put up here, gentlemen, or is that it? 4 giants, 3 frost giants, 1 stone giant. Some good stuff. A nice little inadvertent trap here with where they buried the mammoth bones, and a nice little also inadvertent trap right here where they made their root cellar. I like it. I think that's it. I think that is good. Alright. Next map. We'll put this in the folder labeled backstory. Next up is this. So this is the underground. What do we want to do with this? What do we want to do with this? Okay, first let's make this map to an appropriate size for what we want to do. They're gonna be big. They're giants after all, so make this kind of a gray scale-ish. Actually, let's go with a darker blue. And then, should we, actually go give good blue to the background. And then give black to the tiles. There we go. Alrighty then. Are these headphones even working? Yes. What would the... I think they would open up with a staircase going down, right? So let's open up with a staircase going down. No. I want to make that a little darker. Like this. And then we want to give it a staircase. What are we thinking for the inside, gentlemen? What are we thinking for the inside? Thinking like a staircase going downwards. With maybe like a big, just a fucking massive door. It's like a huge door. Right square in front. Right square in front. Is that what we're thinking? It's like, you got a staircase going down a good few feet, like a giant staircase, and then you've got metal cage, wooden cage, metal cage. Unsnap. There we go. So we got the staircase going down. Do we want kind of like an antechamber kind of thing? Maybe we want like a hallway with a few rooms in it, and then like an antechamber nearing the end. Also, I think it would look better if that was turned around. Nah, because of how the shadow is. So how the shadow is, it kind of looks a little weird if you do that. How do we shrink it down a little bit? Nah. Okay. I think a big honking door, because like they're warriors, right? They're expecting to get invaded. Like they're ready for it. So I say we just have like a big, nice, thick door right here. You know, it's like a huge fucking wooden door. It's made out of multiple trees kind of thing. Yeah. 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 All right. Maybe, okay, how do they usually, like, carve their shit? How do they usually carve their shit? They actually usually do things pretty fucking square by the community's consensus. They usually do things pretty square. Alright, Draco. Edwin. Do we want to do this, like, square? Do we want to make these almost, like, properly defined, like, brick rooms? Oh, that could be good. Hmm. Do we have, like, stone tiling? Kind of. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I'm kind of stumped. What do we want to do here? What if there's, like, torches along the walls? Do these guys have dark vision? No, so they need light. They need light. So we can do some, like, fucking huge torches. We don't have any good torches. I think we have one. We can use this. What we will do, we'll do this. Do a little of this. Do a little of this. See what I mean? See what I mean? Do a little of this. A little bit of this. They kind of buried that one in the wall a little bit. Yeah, I was thinking the similar thing. We do a little bit of this. A little bit of this. Bam, 2 massive torches. Ice tunnels. How complex do we want to make these ice tunnels? Like, do we want to make them, like, super fucking, like, mega super complex where it's, like, multiple fucking layers? Or do we want to make them pretty simple? Do we want to make them square? Do we want to make them square? Draco, kill that thing. Kill it. Kill it. Thank you. Because, like, a lot of, like, the, stuff on the community... What the fuck? That's a really nice fucking picture. Hmm. Hmm. Is it going to be more square? Circular. You want it to be circular. Okay. Let's have, like, 2 tunnels kind of splitting off into different rooms. This is where most of them will be. There are going to be 6 giants in here. Keep that in mind. There are going to be 6 giants. We'll have something like this with this thing on top. This move to the left slightly. Something like that. With this. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll just make it all one piece. We'll go down to like here. But it'll be branching off, like there's 2 rooms on one side, 2 rooms on another. Like that, and then bring this to the front. There we go. And you know, the giants, they ain't exactly like the most intelligent bunch, but these guys are pretty smart. Mostly. Pretty smart. They're not hill giants, so branch off here. And it immediately takes a turn. Like that. And then this leads into the first, like, circular room. On, like, the corner here. Actually, we can do a bit better than that. Hold on. We can... There we go. Okay. Maybe, is that a bit too big? Maybe that's a bit too big. Maybe we do like that. Okay. You liking this? You liking this? I'm thinking I'm liking this too. We're gonna have another room down here. Okay, bring it to the front. Take the thing off of this. So bring this thing's outline back. There we go! That looks fucking good! Actually, maybe we just remove the outline from all of these things. Make it a bit easier to tell what is what, you know? They kind of carve in here, and they were like, oh, we need a bit more space, so we're gonna carve over here a little bit. Like that. Maybe a bit more circular here. Actually, what if this is like, you know, the shaman's room? What if this is like the shaman's room and his desk is over here? Like the shaman has like a fucking proper desk he writes at? That might be good. What we'll do is we'll also make like the icicles. We'll make the icicles on the GM layer. First, let's get like the general shape of this thing figured out. So you got that. You got that. Maybe they sleep over here, and then that's like the food and storage. Maybe this is like a one of the leaders' rooms. What else would they have? They would have a sleeping room. They've had like a main sleeping room. I guess they would try and keep them all together, but they're giants, right? So like that, and then like maybe it like branches off a bit in a weird way. Like this, and then you got like the main quarters for the sleeping room. Oh, Draco, and you know what we can do? You know what we can do, Draco? You know what would be fucking awesome? Shaman carving. Yeah, that's what this is. You know what could be fucking awesome? So these guys, you know, they're big, they're really strong, +6. Yeah. They're big, they're really strong, and they know how to carve ice so really well, but, you know, sometimes they don't do it too well. You know, they don't do it too well. And, oopsies, Jimmy kind of left a crack. Really hard to see, but it's right there. If the players, like, roll a perception down here, they can see, like, you know, the crack in the wall right there where, you know, Jimmy, that bastard, he, you know, when he was putting this scaunt in, he hit the wall a little bit too hard with his hammer, broke a fucking crack in it right there. To them, it's just this small little crack, but to a person, you could feasibly fit through it. You could feasibly fit. Yeah. I fucking like it. I fucking like it. Do we put more root cellar traps in here? First, let's get the design of the building out. Okay, so we got the shaman's carving room right here. We got the food storage room. We got the fucking big-ass fucking sleeping area. What else would they have? A weaponry. They would have an arms room. And obviously it'd be close to the sleeping area. So what if it's just like... kind of weirdly cut out right here where it's like half of the wall. You know, they really care about this particular room, so like there. That doesn't quite fit. That doesn't quite fit. They would expect people to get this deep. That too. Maybe they're like, you know, one of the smalls could fit through it, but like, who cares? You know? Like, oh, they're never gonna get this far anyways. Because they are pretty confident creatures. When you're 21 feet tall and muscular enough to, like, fucking throw a rock over a ridge. Yeah, you know, you're gonna have some confidence. You're gonna have a little bit of an ego. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. You know what? They're pretty confident, right, Draco? What if we have the armory right there, and then the prisoners right next to it? Hmm. 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 Because, Draco, one of the best ways for giants to make more giants in their ritual is to use blood. And the stronger the blood, the better. And humans are really smart, so they would obviously kidnap humans to use in their blood rituals to make more of them. So we have like a prisoner holding cell, but first, like, branches off right here. A little bit wider. A little bit wider. Maybe they took these corners off, you know. And then this is the armory right here. Is where they keep all their weapons. This is where they got all their weapons at. Where would they keep the prisoners? Probably close to the room the shaman is in, because the shaman is the one who makes them all. So what if, like, you go through here. And this is where they keep all the prisoners. Let me run to the bathroom real quick, and we'll continue. Think of what else we need, because this place is obviously going to be big. Locked in the shaman room. I was thinking maybe the shaman has access, really easy access to it. Yeah, I'll be right back. I was thinking hold on. I was thinking this, like, southern room right here could be food storage, you know? Like, right here. This could be food storage. Alright, this could be food storage right here. This could be the shaman's room. This is, like, where they keep all the prisoners. Because they've been kidnapping, like, just hundreds and hundreds of humans that, like, find themselves in these mountains. And then finally, you know what we need, Draco. You know what we need down here, Draco? The Mead Hall. The Great Hall. What is the Skyrim Afterlife called? Sovereign Guard, yeah. Let's see what this place is like. These are giants after all. These are frost giants after all. So we gotta fucking pump this shit up. With like, yeah, this kind of thing right here. Fire pit in the middle. Huge banisters. That's what we're doing right here. Yeah. Sovereign Guard. This place right here, this place is pretty nice. This place is a lot like heaven, you know? You know why that is, Draco? Because no matter where you're from, no matter who you are, this place doesn't judge. So long as you were a badass and you went out like a badass, you can go here. The Ebony Warrior proves that. You go out like a badass, you come to this place. I like that. Alright. Time for the main mead hall. What are we thinking for this, Draco? Are we thinking just a big-ass fucking kick-ass room at the bottom? Or are we thinking maybe there's a throne for their leader in the corner? You know? What if there's like a big throne for their leader in the corner? He's just sitting on it. He's like the leader of this little outpost. Maybe he's got some dragon bone armor on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's got some dragon bone armor. Yeah. He's got some fucking armor on. It's gotta be big like this. This area back here is not gonna be really seen because that's where the throne will be. Yeah! There's definitely a bigger archway. Double the size of the previous one. And this is where they take all their food and loot! This is where they take all their food and loot and all their meat and game, and they roast it! Alright, you know what else I'm thinking too, Draco? I'm thinking, you know, these giants are pretty big. They're not too perceptive. They have a +3 perception. They're not too big. They're not too perceptive. giant table, bone throne, giant greatsword, mammoth cloak, suit of full armor. You know what? We're just gonna use this right here. That's what he looks like right there. Really stands out. He's got a full suit of fucking armor. Definitely some dragon cuts at the roast. Yeah. What if they're... Oh, Draco, hear me out. Fire pit in the middle. They're spit roasting the dragon. Right? They're spit roasting like the dragon's torso. Yeah. Yeah, baby. It's a great sword of cold, too. It's a great sword of cold. But first, I got one more room in mind. What if some of the prisoners had escaped at some point, you know? They'd escaped their captivity. And some of them managed to dig out, like, at the very back of this room, a little tunnel. Only that wide. And they managed to dig out like a room back here. They managed to dig out like a little room. Yeah. We can put this like this. And we're gonna put these on the GM layer. Like that. The meat cellar I was thinking about being like a trap door right here. The meat locker. The bone pit would be like right up here. Somewhere. The meat locker. You know what we can do though? Do you want to have another root cellar trap down here, but it's even bigger and it's just full of frozen meat? You want to do that? That would be really fucking funny. That would be really fucking funny. You fall into the first one, you get in their actual supply room, you fall into the next one, it just... You land on just a fucking dragon's leg. I like that idea, though. It's just like a meat locker. That could be cool. That would be so cool. But it doesn't make any sense spatially. I could, I could say like, oh, you guys come in from an angle. I could say like the stairway banks north. Because that would put that right over that. But honestly, that is such a fuck you pit anyways. It's such a fuck you pit anyways that I don't know. We can definitely have the other dragons strung up in here though. What do we think, Draco? Do we want to do that? Do we want to like fully dedicate to that bit? And like say the staircase turns at like an angle, which would put that right below the bone pit. I don't know. Separating one of the players like that might just mean instant death for them. Hmm. Hmm. Let me think. That would be a pretty cool way to get one of the players captured if they're a little too curious, you know? That would be pretty cool. Okay, yeah. We'll dedicate to that. On the GM lair, this place is just directly under the fucking bone pit. Because, you know, they use it for, like, structural stability. It's like a bone pit. Or something. Maybe that's how they get their stuff down there. Just a really big pit. So the staircase banks, basically. We'll do it off map. Staircase, like, basically banks. Like that. And turns to the north. What do we want to have in here? Let's do each of the rooms first. Open fire cooking. Now this is the storage room. They wouldn't have it in here. They cook all their stuff in here. They put all their stuff in here. It is almost like a Family Guy comedic moment. Right? It's like a Family Guy. Yeah, maybe they do have a cooking pot in here. What if they have an eternal stew in here? You know what eternal stews are, Draco? What if they have like one cooking up in here constantly? I don't know. I think that would be really funny. If, like, it's such like a Family Guy fucking over-the-top falling moment, though, right? You go up here. You fucking go up here. You fucking look at these bones on the ground. You start examining them. You gotta make a dex save. You fail. You just fall straight down. You just fall straight down, being absorbed by the ground. Like... and you bash your head and limbs on sharp, like, bones. And you fall through the ground, you fall into here, you literally fall into a fire pit. That would be pretty fucking funny. That would be pretty fucking funny. I like the fire pit idea more. I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna decorate this room first. I like the idea of the fire pit more. Just because it's really funny to me. Like, you fall through all this fucking ice and, like, debris, and you fucking land, and you're just in a fire pit. So we'll have like another root cellar right here. You know, it's covered up and everything. It falls into a fire pit. That takes 2d4 damage. That fall can be quite lethal. What? That's, we said last time it was 2d6 piercing, 2d6 bludgeoning, and 2d4 fire. Like, that can do, like, yeah, 20 damage or so. That could be lethal to some people. They're, like, a level 7 player will definitely survive it, but they'll be so poorly out of position. It is funny to think that the ground just eats them, you know? Like, the ground literally just swallows them. There's more. They have like these little root cellars here where they keep all their food. This is where they keep all their meat, right? Where they keep all their meat. They keep the meat here. I really like doing this with you, Draco. We should do this more often. Keep a bunch of the crates. These are like where the food is, right here. Go delete that. Copy this. You know, they're pretty successful giants. They got a good few crates. Kind of stacked up like that, you know? Where should we put the dragon? Where should we put, like, the young white dragon? I think we put it in this corner right here, right? We like put it in this little corner. Because they'll fall down like right in the center of this. So we want them to see the dragon and fall into the fire at the same time, you know? These crates. Fire pit. We gotta do the fire pit. Can't forget about the eternal stew. I'm about to make player soup. So they fall down, right? They fall down. They land in this bitch. There's no doors. There's no doors. Good luck getting out. Your ass is being captured and put into one of the fucking cells to be harvested for your blood, bitch. And it makes me sad that Iris can't interact with other giants too well, because they don't like him because he's short. You know what I mean, Draco? Like, how tall are frost giants? Do they respect Iris or no? Let's see. Nah, he's shorter than them. He's shorter than them. He gets respect from stone giants and hill giants and fire giants. He ain't got no respect from fucking frost giants. Ain't no respect from frost giants. Ain't no respect from the frost giants. Alright. You know why I hate looking at this picture, though? This picture in particular. Don't get me wrong. This picture, whoever made this, fucking amazing. Right? Like, let's zoom in on this. Look how fucking immaculate that shit is. Amazing. Look at the cloud giant. Looks really nice. The stone giant looks amazing. The frost giant looks good. He's even got a fresh kill there. Some of the blood on his boot. I fucking love this picture, Draco. I just hate the injuries that the hill giant has. Oh, goddamn, I wish I could zoom in properly on him. I think I can. I think I can do this and this. And then do this. And then this. How he's got, like, the pitchfork and, like, the spears in his chest and everything. I don't like that, because I had a bad experience like that one time. I was walking with dinner to my room. I did not spill the dinner from this, keep in mind. And a long-ass needle, about, like, an inch long, thick, like, needle that you would use to, like, clean out your teeth with, went into the bottom of my foot and stood up. It stood up. So I had to walk on it like I was walking on a heel. And it brings back really bad fucking memories. Really bad memories. Ugh. Bad memories. How strange. Frost Giant Yaru, huh? We got some homebrew shit in here. Thank you to D&D Next, Stone Syrex. Let's go with open image and new tab. Do we want to use this, Draco? Dragon scale armor? I think we're using this. Dragon scale armor. Dragon scale armor, fucking 40 feet, legendary resistance. That looks really good. That looks really, really good. He got the great axe with the extra cold damage, and he got the rock. Oh, that's actually good. Battle order, that's good. Flash freeze. It has like a little beam attack. BC 15 strength check, breaking free of the ice on a success. I like this. We're using this. Thank you to whoever made this. Yeah. Stone Strix. Thank you to Stone Strix for making this. We're going to use this for our boss. We're going to be using this for our boss fight. Isn't that right, Draco? I'm gonna put, you know, normally over a root cellar you put like dry leaves. They did that with these. There you go. I like the order idea because there's 10 of them in here, including him. So that's pretty cool. Draco, do we have like a Wendigo stat block? Do we have one of those? No, I don't think we do we? I don't think we have one of those. Damn, we might have to get some homebrew stuff. I was thinking about making an area like that early on. Well, if you'd like to send it to me, I'd love to see it. I'm gonna think for a second. Description. We can see this later. CR11. Maybe we can go with this. Huh? Oh, maybe. Is this part of a book? What book is this part of? Hold on. Oh, okay. One Day Monster, the Wendigo. Speed. Actually got good whiz for its thing. Let me save this to my history real quick. We're gonna use that later. Where were we? Ah, right. We're making the thing. We'll just do that. And take some bar stools. We of course gotta get some. That's a mead hall. Is this where all the mead is kept? Unless it's upstairs. I'm gonna take some bar stools. Put them up there. A little too big. These are like the poles. There we go. These are the poles for the thing. We can actually use those shadows to our advantage. Do like that. There we go. That's the drying rack right there. I think it's got good stats. It's got good stats. I don't like improved critical with its claw attacks. But it's got good stats. It has a really high wisdom for an animal-like creature, and a really low int. Normally, creatures like that have like -1 int. Really low int. Good speed, I think that's fitting. It has... I did not see its dexterity. I have to consider it later, but I did not see its dexterity. Take one more look at it. Regeneration is nice. But speed. I feel like that is very important. The claw attack is a little odd. Claw attack is a little odd. Got really high to hit with that shit. Like, unreasonably high. 2d6 plus 8's nice, though. Really physically strong. Improved critical seems so strange. I like the consuming flesh thing. Hard to say. The conditional extra damage is strange. I don't know if I like that. Because it's like a sneak attack, but it's kind of like a bad sneak attack. It's only a d6 plus some extra damage. Oh well. Okay, we're almost done with this room. We just gotta do one more thing, Draco. A bathtub. Well, not quite a bathtub, but you'll see. Thinner. Like that. Some ever stew. Alright, this room looks to be done. Do we want to add anything else in here? Maybe we add some blood on the floor where the dragon is dripping. There we go. Do we want to add anything else? I'm looking at this. I think that's good. This dungeon is coming out pretty nice. You know what? I think maybe next week we do a little bit of Chibi Go and we do a little bit of this. And then a little bit of Sakura Wars. I like doing this. I think that's good for like a storage room. Next up, we made the shaman's room, so let's do that. Okay, Draco, here's how they do this, right? Here's what I'm thinking. So, Draco, here's what I'm fucking thinking. You ready? So how these guys make new versions of themselves is they take all of, like, gold decorations? I think we do that in, like, the main room. The main, like, mead hall, you know? This is supposed to be just, like, a storage room where they keep all their stuff. Although maybe some gold decorations around like here would be good. Maybe do we have like a flag? Maybe we should like put up some like banners. Oh, you know what we should do? Hunting trophy. Hunting trophy. It's on the wall right here. It's a giant, like the antlers of a giant moose. The antlers of a giant moose that one of them killed and just stuck it on the wall right there. That's nice. Oh boy. This place is gonna be crazy. So, okay, you see this like big thing right here we're making, Draco? This thing right here? Okay, here's what I'm thinking. This is like a fucking sarcophagus. Alright? This is like a sarcophagus. Actually, a coffin would work better. Do you think it should be this shape, or do you think it should be like a coffin? Which one do you think would work best? I think the first one, yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, because it looks weird, right? It doesn't look like it fits into place with everything. Okay, so we got this, right? And what they do to, like, make another giant is they fill this thing with, like, blood and frozen rocks. And iron and weapons and stuff. They do this and they perform a ritual. They perform a ritual around it. Maybe it's, like, closer to right here. They perform, like, a big ritual around it. And that causes a new giant to spring forth out of it. Yeah. Send it back. Ah, shit. I sent it too far to the back. I need to bring this thing to the front. The front. Yeah. So they fill this thing up with blood and guts and gore and ice and iron, and then they seal it, and then a week later, a new giant comes out. I like it. So we'll go half moon shape. Moon shape. Red through the middle. And move to back. Actually, we can just move this to the front. Yeah, like that. I fucking like that shit right there. Maybe there's like some spatterings of blood still left around here, and maybe this is where we put the buckets of blood, Draco. Right in this corner right here. This is where we put the buckets of blood. Fuck it. Who cares about buckets? You know what we got? We got a fucking wash tub of blood. Just filled with it. Ready for their sick and twisted ritual to commence. Yeah. Fucking basin filled with blood. Yeah, yeah. Fuck yeah! That's fucking metal as shit! They got some boulders! They got some... That's technically a tree stump, but don't worry about it. They won't know. They got some boulders they fucking throw in there. Some boulders they throw in there for more ingredients for the new one. I must delete you now. Oh no, I have copied bar stools. What should the shaman's room look like, Draco? How about you? You design this one. You design this one. Oh, hold on, wait. Because the shaman's gonna live over here. You know what else we should have in here? You know what else we should fucking have in here, Draco? Cages. Cages for the people that are going to be sacrificed soon, you know? Yeah, we could put some citizens in there. Table and a knife? Okay, okay, hold on. Let me put some innocent civilians in there. But like random guy 1. And we can put like blacksmith 1. There we go. And who says doing it by hand is dead? A table and a knife. Table and a knife. How should we do that? Do we? I don't think we have like weapon sprites. We'll have to make the weapons. I know we do have tables. We do have tables. Table. A table and a knife. Big table. Put it like in this corner right here. Right where we said we would. We got the table. What should be on the table? Table, a knife. Gotta have the knife for the sticking of the fucking small ones. Obviously, we gotta have a chair with the table as well. The shaman, he lives good. The shaman, he lives real fucking good. Okay. So, a knife. How should we make the knife? This looks kind of knife-ish. I think we just have to draw it. Looks like we're gonna have to draw it. Leather bedroll? Yeah. Let me draw the knife real quick. Then maybe we make it like a kind of like a darker blue. And the handle is like a brown, an off brown color. Like a little butcher's knife. Like that. He is hacking meat. A leather bedroll. Do we have a bedroll? We have things that look like bedrolls. A carpet looks more like a bedroll. Carpet, there we go. Where should we put the leather bedroll, Draco? Where should we put it? Maybe like against the back wall? Share Google image. Ah, that's what you want to do here. Okay. That kind of stuff. Like a little well-made, like, curved knife. Is there anything... What we can do is we can take this into a photo editor. Kind of do some shit like that. But first, let's actually get done with this room. The opposite corner? Okay, so like right here-ish. I mean by opposite corner, like literally opposite corner, like right down here, or the opposite corner of the room? My grandfather... Shit. My grandfather always gets that kind of shit mixed up. Like right there? The other side, right here. You know, we give him a pillow. It's just a couch he stole. It's a fucking old beat up couch that he stole. Like that. It's just a couch that he stole. He puts his head on it because it's pretty big. Alright. What else needs to be in here? Maybe like a pile of bones. Milk bones, yeah. Hold on, let me go get something to drink real quick. I'll be right back. We got some big ass bones. Bones. Where do you want the bones? That is kind of crazy good damage output right there with that battle order. The corner. What corners? It's a fucking circle. What, just like over here? Next to the pool of blood? Like right here? Oops. A whole bunch of bones right here. Like right here. It's a whole bunch of bones right there. This is like a giant elk, right? So, or giant yak. There's just a bunch of bones right there. Maybe a bit more clustered up. Turned a couple ways. Like that? Just a fucking pile of giant bones. Alright, we got a pile of giant bones. What else we got in here? Maybe there's, Do you think the shaman has a giant wolf pet? Do you think he has a dire wolf pet? That could be cool. I don't know. I don't remember. Let me look that up. Ah, okay. It's the thingy, isn't it? Fuck, hold on. What? Talking about this? Talking about a saber-toothed tiger? That doesn't want to load. There we go. Well, that could be good. Why is it just called saber-tooth tiger? Alright, well, throw it in there. Surprisingly, there's no giant saber-tooth tiger. Probably because it's already a large creature. You know what? Maybe he's, You know, he's been a good boy. He gets a cat bed. He gets a cat bed right next to his bone pile. Do we have, like... The shaman is named Shin. I'll give him fucking Eldritch Burst. I'll give him the Eldritch Burst feature. Hold on. Bugbear. Do we just have like a fucking big ass beast? Have a hyena. That might work. Come on. We have a wolf. That could work. Well, let's use the wolf sprite. He is large, so we're gonna give him a thing. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Anything else we want in here? I don't think so. Well... we did good, boys. We did pretty good. I'm gonna have to end stream here, but this was pretty fucking awesome. We're gonna do this some more next week. Thank you all so much for coming. I really like it when we do this shit, man. So, I will see you all later. Goodbye, everybody. I am feeling tired. Hold on, let me check something real quick before I leave. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Just making sure. Alright, good night, everybody.